Well, a warm welcome to all of you tonight, and it's so good to meet with all of you again this week at this Kingdom School. And again, we are still busy with our focus on finance and business principles in finance. And tonight I want to speak to you on some principles in personal finance and also, of course, connected to your entrepreneurship. So I want to start off by looking at personal financial management. And I want to ask the question, why do you think is it's so important for you and me as believers to manage our money? And this not only entails believers, but also even unbelievers. There are certain principles that all of us should manage and be good stewards of our finances. Of course, that brings me to the first point, and that is that one of the reasons why it's so important to manage our money is because it just makes good financial sense for us to be good stewards of what God places in our hands. And sadly, this is the one aspect where I see so many believers and even sons in the house fail, because they fail to stick and work according to a monthly budget, and then also to live their lives within the means of that budget. And you see, to live according to a budget, or to live within the means of your budget, is part and parcel of good money management. There's a very simple principle that is at work when we speak about budgeting, about our money. And the principle is very simple. If I have an income of, say, 2,000 Rand, and my expenditure is 1,900 Rand, the result and the outcome of that is that I will be happy because I still got 100 Rand in my pocket. But if my income is 2,000 Rand and my expenditure is 2,100 Rand or even 3,000 Rand, the result of that and the outcome of that is that often we find ourselves in a place of misery and, of course, also debt. Now, there's a financial principle that is called the Makaber principle. And this principle claims that financial surplus, in other words, if you have more than what you need, is success. But if you have debt, that is failure. And I believe that this is even so much more true for you and me as believers and as kingdom citizens in the kingdom of God, because the Bible clearly gives us the demand that we should live our lives debt-free. You see, to live in this dimension where we are debt-free takes some energy from us, because it takes us and demands from us that we need to study our financial situation, our finances, and that we also need to put effort into it. And it means that through the course of the month, we must learn how to keep an eye out for bargains, other things that are that's going on sale, and then also to learn how to avoid bad choices by taking and doing a bad deal on a purchase. You see, so often when it comes to financial stuff, we get emotional driven, or we are driven by our emotions. if you see something that you like, really, really, really like, and all of a sudden you've been looking it for a long time, and now you find it here, and all of a sudden you find they are selling this thing that I've been looking for such a long time. Most of us just go ahead, we place our order, or we purchase that item without searching whether there's not, that object is not cheaper at another place. I personally has bitten this bullet so often, because you will see this thing, you've been looking for it for months, and all of a sudden you find it, and then you just close your eyes and you buy it because you were desperate to get hold of this object. And lo and behold, it will not be a week later, I find myself at a place where that specific item is now on a sale for 300 or 400 rand less than what I've paid for it. So we need to practice, I want to call it financial discipline. Because you see, as we progress in our careers, and as we go to that place and running a business or whatever, and we begin to earn more money, understanding how to invest that money wisely becomes more and more important in order to reach the milestones so that we can eventually get to a place where we can make a down payment on a home to purchase that home and not rent a home, or even to that place and position where we can purchase a property for cash, or even purchase a vehicle, a new vehicle off the floor for cash. So you'll see that one of the very first reasons why it is so important for us to manage our money, is, you listen to what I've just said to you, is because it makes good financial sense. The second reason of why it's important is that because it gives us security. You see, if we are a good manager of our finances and of the money that comes into our hands, it allows us to accumulate over a period of time savings. And it gives us that security of knowing that we have the resources should something unexpected happen, and we've got some unexpected expenses, such as your car breaking down, or your dog destroying your new sofa or chair or couch while you were at work, or you find yourself in a position where your boss all of a sudden comes to you and kind of indicates to you, I think it's time for you to look for another job. You see, if you reviewed your expenses and expenditures over the course of an entire year, you will see that unexpected expenses always occur some stage during the course of the year, whether it's a tire on your car that burst, whether it's all of a sudden sudden sickness that you have, medical expenses, or some of your equipment, this load shedding. We have found out ourselves, we had to replace fridges and deep freezers within a period of 2 or 3 months twice. And that's not a joke, because you guys know what these things are costing nowadays. So if you are wise and you are managing your money properly, it means that having savings available for you to use means that you don't have to go on HP or use a credit card to pay for any emergency that you might experience. My advice to sons always is, create for yourself a separate bank account, even at another bank as to where you normally bank your money. and open for yourself an investment account there or a savings account where you put a certain amount of money into that account on a monthly basis, and it becomes like a monthly bill that you have to pay. But in the meantime, you are growing your emergency fund so that if something happens, you can access that money and solve the problem without having to go into debt to resolve the problem. The third reason why it is so important for us to have this kind of backup savings available is because it takes us to a place where we can actually, when opportunities comes along our way, we can actually take advantage of those opportunities. You see, from time to time, it happens to all of us that you will find yourself in a place where you will encounter opportunities to make more money, or where you can even have a wonderful experience that you wanted to have for a long time. Or you can find yourself in a place where a friend or somebody you know can share with you some information on an investment opportunity that will really bring about a lot of profit for you. Or you can even find yourself in a place where you have this wonderful opportunity for a terrific deal on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation that you can then have. And when those kind of things come along our ways and we don't have the cash available to take advantage of these opportunities, we become so frustrated because we know here is something where I could have really made something happening for myself or for my family. And now, because I've not practiced financial discipline, I find myself in a place where I must let those opportunities bypass me, and I cannot use the opportunities that has come past me. You see, people who have been successful and effective in managing their money get to go to exciting events, while those who are mismanaging their money stay home, become a couch potato, watch TV, and sometimes you find yourself having to watch TV with some annoying relatives that you actually didn't want to have with you watching that TV show that you favor so much. So you can see why it is so important for you to manage your money properly, because it gives you that advantage when advantages or opportunities comes your way. Another aspect of why it is a good thing is if you've got the money, they say money talks. So if you've got the money, you will find yourself that it puts you in a position where you are financially healthy, that you will pay lower interest rates than others. Now, there's a thing nowadays that I've come across, maybe it's been there for years, but I only discovered it recently. When I say recently, over the past 3 to 5 years, where they speak about your credit score, and where you actually have the ability to access that credit score of yours through your bank. And I want to say to you that knowing and managing your credit score is a reflection of what is your money management skills all about. If you have a high score, it means that you've paid your bills in time and that you've kept your total level of debt relatively low. And achieving such a high credit score actually rewards you, because it puts you in a position where you can keep more of what you earn, because you will be charging lower interest rates for things such as home mortgages, credit cards, and even if you want to buy a car, HP on a car, and even your insurance on your car will cost you less because of a lower premium. Now, just to give you an idea of some of these scores, 618 is very poor. It means that you are really not managing your money well. 618 to 633 says it's below average. 634 to 649 says you're managing your money on an average level. 650 to 669 says you're managing your money good. But if you get to 670 and above, it's telling you that you are managing your money with excellence. Now, when I checked my personal score of credit score is 710 out of 730. So I fall in that range of managing my money with excellence. But you can see I've still got 20 points to go because there's still room for improvement on how I manage my finances. So I really want to encourage you to take the time, if you've got a banking application, on many of the banking applications, there's a place where you can go and ask them to tell you what is your credit score. Go and check it out and see in what area are you falling, because that will give a good indicator for you in terms of your personal finance, whether you are managing your money properly. Another reason why it's good to manage our money and why it's important is because it reduces our stress and conflict. See, if you're in a situation where you're not able to pay your bills by the date that they are due, you will find yourself in a position where you're always broke, and at some periods and times of the month, it can lead you to get into serious times and moments of stress and distress, resulting in conflict in your house and in your household over financial objectives and spending habits. You know, you find yourself, if you're married, your wife goes, she buys herself something nice, you will freak out because you don't have the money, there's no money, and there will be always fighting taking place about who's spending money and whose money are being spent. So what we see is that I got hold of a study that was done in America in 2017, where they said that 62% of Americans are stressed about money. And I think now, in this time and season in which we are living, I think it will be even worse. And the thing is, all of you should know that stress leads us to things such as health problems. And experts say this even includes things such as migraines, cardiovascular diseases, and even insomnia, because you can't sleep, because you're worrying about your finances all the time. You see, if we learn how to manage our finances so that we can have a surplus of funds, can relieve this pressure from us and place us in a position where we can enjoy life with our partners, with our family, and with our friends, rather than being in a constant state of worry about where is the money going to come from to cover my next bill. Another reason is that it puts us in a position where our income increases constantly. You see, as your income grows, your financial planning will not just involve your budgeting so that all your expenses are covered every month, but it will also come to a place where you now determine on a monthly basis how you're going to invest the surplus money that accumulates above what you are spending. And you see, this is where there then comes a demand for you to become knowledgeable about your investment vehicles, such as stocks and mutual funds, and that can allow you to earn more on your investment funds than you could by leaving them just in a savings account in the bank. Remember to bear in mind that things such as horse tracks, offshore or online casinos are not generally recognized as very sound investment vehicles. Anyways, the Bible clearly tells us we shouldn't gamble. But the great thing about having investments is that while you are at work earning your salary and your monthly income, your investments are also busy working for you. And that is what we call passive income. So let's talk a little bit tonight on budgeting. What is budgeting? Budgeting is that process where you create a plan for yourself and with your family as to how you are going to spend your money. And this plan for spending is actually what we call a budget. And creating this spending plan allows you to determine in advance whether you will have enough money the coming month to do the things that you need to do or to pay the things that you need to pay. And you see, budgeting is simply on the grassroots level, just balancing your expenses with your income. If they don't balance and you spend more than what you are making, you're going to have a problem. Many people don't realize that they spend more than they earn, and then slowly but surely find themselves in a situation where they are sinking deeper and deeper into debt every year. You see, if you don't have enough money to do everything you would like to do, then you can use this planning process to prioritize your spending and focus your money on the things that are most important to you. I always tell people, you have to divide your expenses into 3 categories. The one is, you cannot live without it. The second one is, I must have it, but can I do without it for a period of time? And then the third dimension is, it's nice to have. You see, if you begin to categorize your money into those areas, you will find yourself immediately in a situation where you're going to see, but actually I'm wasting my money on a monthly basis. Why is it that budgeting is so important? You see, it always places you in that position where it ensures that you will always have enough money for the things that you need, not what you want, what you need, and the things that are important to you. You see, following such a budget or spending plan will keep you out of debt or even help you to get out of debt if you are currently in debt. Now, these times that we are living in, I think we've experienced a lot of this during the COVID season, is many people faced a reduced income. And now we have to ask ourselves, if that happens to me, what now? You see, people tend to just carry on living the way that they are living and say to themselves, I'll worry about that tomorrow or next month or next year. But the moment you get to a place where you realize you're facing reduced income, you must take immediate steps in reducing your spending in line with the reduced level of income that you are receiving. You see, many people wait for several months before they reduce their spending. And this can actually mean the difference between surviving the tough times successfully or hitting financial disaster head on. So I want to share with you some essential things that you must consider if you're facing either from a position where you are now in debt or where you'll find yourself in a position where your income are being reduced. First of all, you must take care of your essential living costs. What is that? That is pay your bond, your house, pay for your housing costs, your water and lights, pay for your food, pay your utilities, reduce or cancel any services that you don't need right now and that's a nice to have. Be careful to watch out for your packages or your contracts that is on a basis where they renew themselves automatically. If you're facing a complete loss of income, such as you got fired, then you need to look at what assets is there that I can sell in order to pay any debts that I might have or incur. Then you need to start looking at what is there that I can do and ways that I can find to increase my income. You can do it through temporary work. You can take in a boarder in your house if you've got an open room. You can rent out your garage. You can start a part-time work, online work that you can do from home. You can do babysitting. You can deliver newspapers. You can even go and apply at your local supermarket for maybe packing shelves. Look at your banking. Look at your credit card and your debit card and the debt on that. If you owe money on any of those and fall behind on your payments, what happens is the bank can take out of your account any money that comes in and you don't have control over it. So if you find yourself in such a bad situation, my suggestion to you is open another account that is not at the same bank and put your money that you do get into that account where the bank cannot automatically deduct that money out of your account. Just remember that if you cannot pay your debt, you're going to find yourself in that place where your credit score is going to drop. But the good thing is that as you recover and as you restore your situation, you will find that your credit score also recovers. And in the meantime, while you are in that process, remember to take care of those things that are essential, not nice to have, but things that you really, really cannot do without. That is the basic principle that you need to apply. You know, many people make the mistake that when they get into this situation, they just keep quiet. You need to speak to those people to whom you owe money. Speak to your creditors. They are often in a better position to assist you in the process on your payments than if you just keep quiet and hide. You see, if you are faithful in paying your accounts and your bills on a monthly basis and hard times come along like these, you will find that the banks or whoever the institution is will treat you favorably because you've got a good history. And if you play with them open cards, they will meet you halfway and even walk another mile with you in order to help you and assist you to recover. Remember, at the end of the day, they want their money. So they will do everything in their power to help you and assist you to recover the period that you are going through. There's a very good way in which we can build a good credit rating. Myself and Renette had this bad experience when we were married for 2 or 3 years. And up until that stage, we paid everything cash. And lo and behold, I think it was a washing machine that broke down. And we had to go and buy a new dishwasher. But the problem at that stage was we didn't have the cash to buy it. So now we asked them, well, we want to buy this washing machine on hire purchase. And they told us, sorry, you don't qualify. And I said, what? We've been paying cash for everything for the last time, how many years? We never have. So I said, no, you must have debt to make debt. And there we learned that if it's worth your while, that if you buy something like that, to buy it on debt, and then you go 1 month, 2 months, by the third month you pay everything and you cover that cost. That helps you to build a good credit store. And unfortunately, myself and Renette had to learn this the hard way. So always have something that you are paying off, even if it's just for 1 month or 2 months, and then you clear if you've got a credit card, a good principle is buy on credit. At the end of the month, clear the credit card. Don't let it accumulate. So I can just encourage you, get to that place where you draw up your budget and you do that for yourself personally in the same manner that you would do it for a business. And as I said in one of the earlier sessions, multiple streams of income is what's going to bring you to that place of success. And you also must be wise and insure yourself against any risks. Don't be stupid and drive around with a brand new car that you've bought cash and then don't take out insurance on that car. It's not you that is going to smash the car, but it's somebody driving into you. And if they don't have insurance, you are in deep trouble. So make sure that you take the necessary steps. The same with medical aid, the same with your retirement funds. Make sure you put all of these things always in place. You know, there's a certain principle that the Lord has taught me through the years, and I've embedded this principle into my own personal life, and that is the first thing that I pay at the end of the month is I give my tithes, my first fruits, and my offerings, and I pay it to my spiritual father because that is the first principle. And if you do that, I can assure you that you will always be in a place where you are in a good financial position if you apply these principles. Also, make sure that when it comes to your finances, that you partner with people that are experts, that's wise, that can give you the advice. Don't listen to these fly-by-night people that tell you you're going to make a quick buck and you're going to get rich quickly. There's no such thing of getting rich quickly. If you use these principles that I've shared with you tonight and you apply them in your walk, in your personal finances and in your business finances, you will be successful. Well, may the Lord bless you as you meditate upon these principles and as you then apply them to your life and to your walk in the kingdom.